What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, readoptionagency.com, urban-picker.com, 24 years selling full-time on eBay. And we're Saturday morning, so that means I got a lot to talk about today. So we're going to go over the week of numbers. We're going to go over this glare because I'm tired of this glare, but I have no choices right now. So deal with the glare for a little bit longer from these lights. If I turn them out, it just gets kind of dark. That's a little better. But so I've got lots to talk about here, and we're going to go over the numbers for the week, what they look like on paper. So we're going to do a recap, and then I've got some new future things coming now that I've got things more structured. So, yeah, got a lot of things to say. With this reflection. Let me see if I can turn that a little. I'm going to address that soon. All right. Because it just took me 15 minutes to put the phone right here. And it got me a little agitated, so we're going to fix that. We're going to get that started fixing today. All right, so first off, and I've got Pee-wee right here, I got Courtney right here, I have no room to stand, and I'm going to address that. It's agitating me. All right. But I'm not taking it out on nobody. That's not I'm just going to fix it. I'm going to find the solution. Because that's what I do nowadays. All right, so as you know, keeping the running thing. So we got the first week in the books, right? So to recap, my goal for the month is 6,000 items listed. My goal for sold, I would like to get back up to the 500 items sold per week. And I would like to get back up to the $7,000 a week made with a net profit of under 50%. And then I'll break down the net profit thing again for you guys, because when you're running a business, the ultimate goal is to, at the end of the year, be even, Steven. So yesterday, I got 106 items listed, bringing the week's total to 1,761. So under where I wanted it, but yesterday I did more research and creating, and I'm actually taking notes now. So we'll get into that. So I didn't make the 3,000 in the first week, but I'm going to try to make that up here while I'm doing my organizing project. Numbers sold yesterday, 56 items sold. So that takes the run total for the week 408. So not too far off from the 500. Money made yesterday, $1,053. So a good sales day yesterday. A nice bounce back from the previous 2 days. With a run total for the week, $5,955. So about a little over $1,000 away from the goal. With an average net with between both stores at 48%. So that keeps us under the 50. So that's where we are. Now, we're going to get into the good stuff. All right, why I didn't make my why I only listed 106 yesterday. And I said I was going to stop saying only, or why 100 items listed is good. Maybe not in the list easier AI days, but it's better than what it used to be. And I'm still getting into the new structure. I'm getting into the new process. So I'm creating a process is what I'm doing. And that's what I've been doing. So that first week with the new process of items, I think did pretty well. If you don't know what I was doing is when I'm listing items, they go on into my cubes in the office here. That glare is just so annoying. So that I don't have to worry about where they're going. I can just get things up as quick as possible. And the goal is to get 3,000 items listed that week. So that didn't happen. But I'll tell you why. My excuses, if you will. Got back to exercising again. Took Pee-wee to the park yesterday. So I'm literally putting a process together. I'm structuring my life again. My life has been in chaos since my dad moved in, honestly. And I've never regained any kind of structure. It's just been a lot of whatever, a lot of chaos, a lot of I'll do this whenever, do that here, do this. And it's just, there's been no structure. I've just been doing whatever. And you can tell it. You can tell it with, if you don't have any kind of structure and you're trying to accomplish goals, it just doesn't work. And that's with the business, with the YouTube channel, with your health when it comes to eating properly, exercising, just all that. If you don't have the process, the structure, the consistency down, you're going to fail. So getting back into just building something that I can count on and is very thorough, and I don't have to second thought anything, and hoping that it breeds success. So crossed out notes, process, consistency, and structure. So last week was list as many as I can, just throw them on the shelf and don't worry about it. Of course, each cube is labeled. Each box on each cube is labeled. Each stack is labeled. So I know exactly where something is when it sells. If it's, it'll say cube, 3, 5, stack 1. I know where that hat's going to be. So I think that was a success. So that made me happy. Also, what I introduced in this first week is this style of video once a day, where we go over the numbers of the previous day. That keeps my goal in my head consistently, so I can shoot for it, at least going forward. After I get, this is week 2, so it's going to be maybe a little, it's definitely going to be more a chaotic week also. So this first 2 weeks, I'm not going to hold myself 100% accountable to make every single goal, or at least, to make the listing goal. I really don't have power over the other goals. Well, I kind of do. If I cherry pick stuff, but then it would take longer, then I wouldn't get as much listed, but that's a whole nother story. So establishing this video, I like this. It's quick in the morning. Like we're at 9:15 right now. I usually shoot this video somewhere between 9 and 11 a.m. Going over things from numbers the day before, even notes from the day before, and it gives me something to talk about. So here's the thing about this video. It's like I'm not putting no pressure on myself with this video. Actually, I'm creating a system where I'm not going to put pressure on any video, but they'll be consistent. So this video has a topic, the numbers from the day before, and then anything else after it is whatever's on my mind or whatever notes I've taken from the day before, whether that's problems I saw at the eBay site or just random talking like I did yesterday about things. No structure within the video other than what the video is for. I don't worry about the length of the video, nothing. So the video's there. It's usually out between noon and 1 or so, I think. So getting that time where it's going to be up the same time every day. So maybe that'll be a future thing where, you know, if I can get them all done before noon, it'll be up at noon. So that's something I'll add later. But so those are the two things that's been created this week that I'm happy with the way it's working. It's nice structure, no pressure, no issues. I think that's about it for that week, for the recap. And like I've come to terms with like my my sleeping arrangements, because like I'll fall asleep about 11 to midnight, somewhere in there. Pee-wee will get me up at 2 a.m. Most of the time, not every time, but most 6 of the 7 days, I'm usually up at 2 a.m. taking him outside because he has to go to the bathroom, because he's on a lot of meds, so he drinks a lot of water, so he's got goes to the bathroom a lot. So I'm usually up at 2 a.m. and it takes me maybe about 15 minutes. I'm usually back to sleep, hopefully by 2:45. Then I'm up at 4 a.m. I get up at 4 a.m. because he has to go to the bathroom again. Plus, that is a consistent everyday 4 a.m. So I go ahead and give him his medicine at 4 a.m. And then my hope is to get a few more hours of sleep. So then I get back in bed, and I'm usually back asleep between 5:45 or 4:45 and 5:15. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to fall back asleep. But I started this thing, and it's kind of working, where if I'm having trouble falling right back to sleep, I will imagine drawing squares. You know, the people say count sheep or whatever. What keeps me awake is my mind going over things from the day, you know, business-wise, or maybe what I want to do tomorrow. So what I do, if I can't just let my thoughts go and flow, and then they go everywhere, because I like doing that, because I love seeing where my thoughts go. And then I'm out. If I can't do that, I mentally draw squares, different shapes, sizes, different places, and I'm mentally drawing squares, and then I'm out. So I found that I started doing that technique this week, and it actually started working. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So, and then I'm usually up between 8 and 8:30. So unfortunately, my 8 to 9 hours in bed, if I'm lucky, I get 6 hours sleep. So I finally come to terms with that. It was bothering me before. I'd let it bother me, but you know what? If I didn't do it, Pee-wee wouldn't be alive, right? Without his meds, he wouldn't be alive. So it's just a sacrifice that's made for his life. And that's the way I started looking at it this week. And that helped me be okay with it. So, and I just have to, you know, work around that. So that's another structure in my life that I basically narrowed down in my head. Like, I'm okay with how this goes. And I kind of have fun with it when I go out at 2 or even at 4. Sometimes the deer will be out there in the front. The other day, a little baby possum took off running. So it's kind of cool just getting out there at 2 or at 4 a.m. and just seeing what's, you know, with the wildlife going on and stuff. The nocturnal creatures of the night, the raccoons and the possums and deer, the coyotes. But, so yeah. So I think overall, I'm happy with the structure. And then, as you know, I've been trying to throw new things in. I'm building around this structure. So to create more consistency on other situations like exercise. So I threw that in this week. So I did the stairs, which my left calf is still jacked up hard from the stairs on that first day. So I haven't done stairs again yet, but I did a jog / walk the next day. And then yesterday I decided just to do light and just walk Pee-wee at the park. But I got out. We got out for 45 minutes walking. So exercise better than just standing here. So that's another consistency I'm throwing in the evening before bedtime. And then I threw back in yesterday. Yesterday I threw it back in on the Urban Picker channel. The links will be below to all these other channels I'm talking about of mine. The Urban Picker channel, where I'm showing what I'm going to list. But part of my research yesterday, why I didn't get things done, is I was doing research. Because as I'm doing this, not only do I want to create a structure, but I want it to be a process, and I want it to be a consistent process. So I'm looking at things like, how can I take, just going through these thrift store items that I'm going to list on eBay, how can I market them in a way that's not been done before, or that can get more views? Basically, to pull people other than resellers in, right? Resellers have channels have a limit when it comes to resellers. Where you go over that limit is when you get the people who, they may sell one item a week or something, or they do it for casual, they do it as a hobby, or people that just like watching content for a certain reason, like the yard sale videos, where people point of view going to yard sales. Most of the people that watch them are not resellers. So how can I create something that reaches outside of the reselling world? So during my research yesterday, I stumbled upon a little trend on YouTube, and it's been going on for a while, but it's still consistently going on from the videos I saw. And so I did a little more research and saw that no resellers were using this trend. So I'm like, okay, let's see if I can dip my toes into this trend and see if I can catch a few fish that are not resellers. And that's what's in my bag. A lot of times there's, most of it's women's going through their purses. What's in my bag? So I'm trying to, on the Urban Picker channel now, when I do the items that are going to be listed, I'm going to use what's in my bag as my fishing line. So every video, again, going back to consistency, is going to be what's in my bag. Unless it ends up being a box, then I'll try what's in my box and see if that brings somebody in also. Or I might look at a little tweaking of it and maybe still use what's in my bag, but even though it's a box. So I haven't got there yet because I got lots of bags waiting to be gone through right now. So that's the angle I'm going to take with the Urban Picker channel. It's going to be items that I am getting ready to list that I just sourced or I just pulled out of storage. So if you like to see what items I'm pulling out of storage, that'll be the channel for you also. And I'm going to try to market it with what's in my bag. And I use like ChatGPT to build me a description with some hashtags and what have you to try to, get other people other than resellers in to watch that channel. So that's another one just started yesterday, thrown into the cycle. I like it. And here's what I'm liking about the way I used to do videos and the way I'm trying to go forward with doing videos. And I figured this out a month ago, is creating a system where I don't have to worry about what day the video is listed. This will be the only video that matters when it's listed, when it's uploaded. Other than that, I'm going to create structure around the videos on when they're listed, when they're uploaded. So what's in my bag? I could sit here today and create 7 videos and schedule them out for a week, right? And then I can get to listing those items. So that's not really taking too much time away from actually working and getting these items. There's not a distraction there going, oh, I need to do this video first. And then it makes it a lot easier. It makes the flow a lot better. If I can go, well, I'll get this video out. It'll be scheduled for tomorrow. No big deal. So I don't have to make a thumbnail right now if I don't want to, type of thing. So that's where that's going. So this week, my plans are the organizing project, first and foremost. What that is I'm restructuring my SKU system, where I'm using, I've got 24 years of different numbers, different SKUs. I got T's, I got S's, I got A, B, C, D, E, F, I got TY, I got tub, I got CT, I've got OV for overstock, I've got Oregon for overstock, I've got my puppies layout, that one's staying the same, but I got shelf numbers, shelf this, shelf that. So I've got a mess when it comes to it, but I know where it all is, and so it's not a problem. But I want to simplify it just so that it might make pulling easier if I use the in order function on the phone with the SKUs and pull a little bit, make it a little bit quicker to pull. Also, I'm dividing up bigger boxes to make it easier to find the item in a bigger box. It's all about shaving time off the shipping process, the pulling and shipping process. So, and then while I'm doing that, I am relisting all my items via List Easier with AI to optimize the listing in hopes that it will sell quicker. If you watched yesterday's video, I told you the story on these shirts that I've had for like 15 years that just would not sell. I've listed them a handful of times because they've taken them down, or not they, but they disappeared on eBay, or I just updated the pictures, or whatever the case may be. And I finally listed them with AI, and they sold. So I'm redoing my entire store like that. Was there something I wanted to add to that part? The organizing project. Oh, yes. So when I relist items, it's not going to count toward my listed item number, right? It's not going to count toward that 6,000 goal. That 6,000 goal is new items. But I'm going to put an extra slot here. So it'll be listed items, and then I'm going to keep track of how many items I've relisted with AI. So hopefully at the end of the month, there'll be 6,000 new items listed, and I, relisted 1,500, 1,000, whatever, new items with AI. So I'll keep a running total of that. Again, just to kind of keep a number, like how many can I do, and use that as a benchmark, if you will. So again, structure to keep me on track every week that I do that process. Do. He said do. All right. What I would like to introduce this week to the structure. All right. We got the Urban Picker, what's in the bag. I talked about that. Organization project, relist. Talk about that. Process, consistency, and structure. Doom. Another thing. So that number of items listed this week, that brings my total of everything listed to 87,213 items. So getting closer to that 100,000 item listed spot. All right, what I'm going to try to add this week is I'm opening back up another one of my channels, the Pimp Master of Stuff. So it'll be below this video. I think I got like 730 subscribers to that channel, so it's nowhere near. And I think I only got like 1,000. I think maybe only like 500 watch hours on there because I haven't used it in a while. So is far away from monetization. But on the Pimp Master of Stuff channel, I am going to introduce back pulling videos. I know a lot of you like the pulling videos, the point of view pulling videos that I did, where I wear my phone on my chest while I'm pulling. That is returning this week. So that will be on the Pimp Master of Stuff channel. My plan with this new introduction back is to not pressure myself and to get it incorporated within the structure so that it stays consistent. So at first, I might schedule them for every other day until I get a backlog enough where I can schedule them every day. Again, it's another video that doesn't have to be listed, or has this, why do I keep saying listed when it comes to YouTube? Doesn't have to be uploaded today, which takes the stress off the situation. It doesn't slow me down, so I'm not going to be, telling stories through this video. It's just going to be me pulling the video, maybe showing you trying to show you with the camera and what it sold for, tell you what it is and what it sold for. And that's it. It's more about the point of view part of it. And then what I'm going to try to do is, I don't know what day I'm going to start that, because I'm going to probably schedule it out because I want to do some research on that before I launch it, because I want to try to aim that at the yard sale people, the people who like the point of view videos. So I'm going to do more research into point of view, see if there's any special tags, hashtags, whatever, to try to pull in the point of view people who love watching those videos. So I got to do that research this weekend before I jump into putting those videos back up. But I'll probably start recording them today when I go down and do some pulling. So again, and I don't have to put any pressure. Like, I don't have to go down and, even if it's only 20 items I pulled, well, at least there's a video, there's content, right? So that's my mindset on it. So if I only go down halfway during the day and there's only 20, 25 items, well, with both stores, maybe like 40 items to pull, so be it. And then this way too, if I build it out so there's a backlog, if I don't feel like doing it one day, I don't have to, and it's still going to be consistent product when it comes to YouTube. So again, building the consistency. So bringing back the point of view pulling videos on the Pimp Master of Stuff channel. Next up, I know some of you will be happy about this one. Boop, 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 boop. Shipping videos coming back. All right. Shipping videos coming back, and what I plan on doing here is pretty much kind of the same as the Pimp Master pooling videos. It's going to have the same look as my shipping videos did before, where I'm at my shipping station, I'm shipping the items. But since I do my talking in this video, that video is not going to be about talking. About it's going to be more about what I'm shipping, where I'm shipping it to, stories that one of those two things will invoke out of me. So I'm not putting pressure on myself to have to talk through the videos. Like if I pull something, I'm like, oh, this was a good album, man. And I start giving facts about that album, then that's what it's going to be. If I'm shipping it to a place where, oh, I went sourcing there once, man. There was this place I found and blah, blah. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be stories of the items I'm shipping out and or the places they're going to. That's going to be the structure of that video. Again, creating a structure with that video where it doesn't have to go up today. There's no time thing. The way I was doing my shipping videos, I was going through numbers of the day before in that video. So I wanted it up today. So I spent a long time, making the video, and then had to spend time making sure it was live today. And I don't have to worry about that by doing this process. It's more about the items and where it's going to. So again, I'm with just like the point of view videos, that one, I'm going to structure it out every other day or so until I get a backlog, and then it'll go into every day. So if there's a day where something's going on and I just got to get things done super, super quick, then I don't have to make a video that day, and it's still going to be a consistent product coming out. So yes, two videos coming back, and I know I've had different people who liked each one of those. So now those people will be fed, and I hope to bring more people in with those. And with the shipping video, again, I'm going to try to find a different way of presenting it in order to get people other than resellers interested in that video. Maybe I haven't really even thought about it, so I'm spitballing right now. Maybe I, kind of marketed to try to figure if there's some trend or something going on about where people just talk about vintage items. Stories behind vintage items. Let me write that down. I like that. That'll be my, oops, I just threw my ponytail holder. I can't even bend over properly. Stories behind my vintage items. So I've been trying, as you can tell, and I've been talking about, I'm just trying to think differently with everything. So I like that. See if there's anything out there like that. And or if I have to create something new, I have no problem with that. So if nobody's created stories behind my vintage items, but yet I can kind of do a thing where, well, this person's talking about vintage items and they're getting lots of views, but there's no structure to a title, if you will. That might be a good title for it. Stories behind my vintage items. So again, trying to go after people more than just resellers. My main goal from here on out is to just build other revenue streams. My main goal was so Jan could retire early, or at least partially retire and not have to worry about anything. So my goal is to get my income doubled. That's the main goal. But it doesn't have to be doubled in order for this to happen. So in order to create these structured videos and then separating them, that's the way to go when it comes to YouTube, where before I didn't care. I just threw everything up on one channel at times. Then I made those channels and I kind of did it, and then I just got away from it. So again, chaotic, no structure. So now creating structure in hopes that it creates growth, creates revenue, and I can get Jan retired. So that's what we're doing there. Also, I've got a new phone coming, so that's going to help out. I ordered the iPhone 17 orange, but it won't be here till like next month. So these videos should get better quality-wise, because I think I could probably shoot with 4K probably with those videos. And I got the 2 terabyte one, so I got more space, storage, so I can shoot more videos, and they can store on the phone longer if I have to. No pressure to upload them right now type of thing. I can do that. Because I'm still doing my Life's Too Short for Pants when it comes to the puppy shorts, the bird videos, just stories of whatever about life. So those will be still going on also on top of all this. That's going to be the only channel there's no real structure to. The only consistency on there is probably just going to be puppy shorts, because I do those pretty often anyway and upload them to TikTok, and then I upload them to here, or that channel, and then I upload them to Facebook. So the puppy shorts are probably the only consistent thing on that channel. I would like to get, when I have the new phone, I'll probably still do the bird videos on this phone, which means I got more space on this phone because I'm not recording other stuff on this phone, so I can maybe get more consistent with the bird videos too, so hopefully. So I got the new phone coming, and then today I'm going to order me some stands for these damn phones, because like this glare, and I have to put it where I can set it and it's not going to fall. So if I order some stands that I can just place wherever, it's going to make different views, which will make it more intriguing to look at times, so you're not getting the same view over and over. I could take it outside and set it someplace. There's no options when you don't have no stands. I've never had any stands. I'm always just sitting around. So to make my life easier there, I'm going to order me some stands today for the phones. Some that'll make sure it fits I think the new one's only a little bit bigger than this one. So I'm going to order those today. So then in the future, you won't have these glares because I can angle it in a way where you won't have those. So 2 things that's going to make my life easier: a new phone with bigger storage and phone stands. So to recap and to talk about one new thing coming, but not coming soon, but coming that I'm still working on. So the layout. This channel will be this video every day. Plus, we'll have the shipping video eventually. I've got to figure out, like I said, how to angle those, and then, stories behind vintage items, whatever. Stories about items and places, something, I don't know, I'll figure that out. And then I'll figure out also a time. So it'll be a consistent time every other day and then every day. So it'll be consistent. The words of the day: consistent, structure, and process. And then also on this channel, the Monday weekly recap videos of the screen share, showing the numbers, look at some of the items that sold, etc., etc. So that video will stay also, because I like doing that. Kind of just helps me keep numbers in my mind fresh. Then the Urban Picker channel, going to have the What's in My Bag videos. Probably structure those every other day until I have a backlog where I can do those every day. Take advantage of my stuff, right? I've got 5 storage areas. Take advantage of that, James. If you can monetarily build something with just showing items that you bought 10 years ago, that's going to appeal to somebody, right? So let's try to build a revenue stream on that. So Urban Picker channel, What's in My Bag. Pimp Master of Stuff channel, we're going to have the point of view videos, point of view pulling videos. And I'm going to try to target to people who like the point of view videos. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the one I've been talking about, the one I've been busting my brain on the most, and that is Alive. So I'm narrowing it down. And here's the thing. For me, it's going to have to be done on a Friday night or a Saturday night. And I got reasons for that. But I want to say first, so if I step on any other resellers' toes who do lives on those nights, it's nothing personal. I'm building something around my comfort, my structure, my process. So if I step on somebody's toes, I apologize. But hey, I'm coming first when it comes to this. You do your thing, I do mine. My goal is not to take your viewers, but I can't tell people what to watch, because my goal is to create something different, something that's going to bring in people other than just resellers. It's going to be reseller related, but go in other directions also. I've come down to the fact that I want it hour long on a Friday or Saturday night, because that's when my mind's the freest, because I don't have to do anything the next day. I don't have to make sure things are to the post office on a Saturday or Sunday. So my freeing days are Friday nights through midday Sunday. Those are my most freeing times when it comes to, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do what I don't want to do. So if my mindset's more in that frame, then I'm going to enjoy doing it more. And I will be able to, as weird as it may sound, talk more freely. or just be more off the cuff, if you will. Just because I don't have to hurry up and do this and get it done, and I can just have fun with it because I have no pressure with what's coming the next day. It's not in the way, if you will. So my goal, is to have, I see reseller channels who do hundreds of people in their lives. That's not my goal. My goal is to have 1,000 people in my life, and most of them not be resellers. So again, with the kind of like the pulling of the videos, the shipping of the videos, trying to incorporate, a reseller is going to get what's going on. But if you're not a reseller, you can still enjoy, engage, and you know what I mean? So that's been my whole mindset. And I've been talking about that for I don't know how long, trying to reach outside that reselling world. So finally implementing those thoughts and ideas. So so that's one step closer on the live. I still don't have a full structure of what I want to do yet because I'm still doing research, seeing what's out there and how streamers do things and what seems to attract the attention when it comes to the younger generation, the way they stream and handle things. I would love to sit here and say I'm a 50, hopefully by then I'll be a 55 or 56-year-old guy, and I'm doing this live show that's bringing in people from age 20 to 70, right? Like, I know with business, people say know your audience and cater to a certain demographic. But see, I've always thought broader than that. I've always liked the thought of something that would go from, just several demographics. And it may still just be a pipe dream, and there's probably a reason networks and things don't do that. But I'm not normal. I don't do things by the book, and I like to dream. So where it goes, how it starts, I don't know, but we're one step closer. We got the time-ish slots down. It's going to be Friday evening or Saturday night type of thing, and I'm not going to worry about any toes being stepped on. Like I said, it's nothing personal. It's just me doing what's going to work for me. And that's it. That's it so far. So, let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the other channels if you are not. I would appreciate that. And watch some of the past videos to help me get that watch time up. If you want to just run them in the background or whatever, I'd appreciate it. Like I said, my goal is to... I've already proven that my business, my reselling business, is a reselling business. It doesn't rely on YouTube revenue, right? So from here on out, I'm not going to use that to stunt my growth, to think, oh, I've got to stay this way because I'm a true, legit reseller. No, this next step is for Jan. This next step is to take the business to a level where she can start relaxing in life. So, and that's my whole mindset behind it all. So, I mean, and it wouldn't be bad to, buy that Lamborghini, buy that Smoky Mountain cabin. That's not, I don't see that happening. But if I will it enough, maybe it will. I'd have to make super kind of monies for that. But first goal is just to get double my business revenue so Jan can relax. So, and then we'll worry about anything beyond that. So I'll probably be dead before that happens. But as long as I don't die before I can get Jan retired, I'm fine with that. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Please like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Share my videos if you could. Just help me grow. Do it for Jan. That's what I'm going to do now. Do it for Jan. She's worked since she was 15 years old, so she's worked a lot. Put herself through college from working at McDonald's and other places, and just That's where my focus is. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later.